Hello, good day to you. I've chosen the name Veritas for my correspondence. You can call me V for short. Veritas stands for truth, and I've chosen that for a number of reasons. Uh, One, I'm continuously seeking the truth, and it's my hope to share that with others. Now, I do know that truth is a fickle thing. You have 7.8 plus billion people on this planet, and each and every single one of them has their own truth. And I think one of the biggest issues that we have as a species is we all try to lock on to what we would consider to be an absolute truth. And once we have established that something is an absolute truth, many of us will cling to this belief, and in so doing, automatically write off all of the other billions of people on the planet who don't share that same belief. And in so doing, we are casting judgment on those outside of us. And you know what they say about casting judgment on someone else? You cast a judgment upon yourself, measured out the same way. So, what I want to do with this channel and these podcasts is I want to promote truth, and the goal of this is to help people expand their minds, their body, their emotional level, their spirit, their soul, and be able to live their best lives by utilizing the perspectives that are shared here and incorporating that into their own so that they can form their own truth. And that's one of the interesting things that I found is we can all have our truths and we can all get along because truth is in the eye of the beholder. Truth must be weighed against or act as against a fulcrum that has to do with the person's belief system and values. Most things that people take as fact are really nothing more than an opinion. For example, there's that phrase, what is delicious breakfast to a spider? Nutritious, good. It's chaos, terrible, and evil for the fly. Which one of those two statements are true? Depends on the perspective of the conscious being that is in the experience. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to create these podcasts is my goal is not, nor will it ever be, to force what I consider to be my truth based on my limited understanding on anyone else. Rather, what I'm really focusing on is helping other people to dissolve what they may consider to be truths that have been part of a well-orchestrated lie to keep us as American consumers or consumers wherever you're hearing this, as consumers. Consumers eat when they are hungry, which means that in some fashion, they are suffering. Hunger comes about when there is an emptiness, when there is a need to fill. If you have a well-orchestrated, well-oiled machine that makes trillions of dollars off of people purchasing things that, again, my truth, they don't need, they need a continuous stream of seeking and hunger. And so there are many people that have accepted as their truth something that if we dig a little deeper, if we provide and shed a little bit of light on the subject, they can find that what they had considered truth for themselves truly isn't. And so what does it mean to consider truth? I mean, sorry, let me just take a step back. So in reality, you only ever really have, I'm sorry about my phone here. In reality, you only really ever have two two directions. You can go in two poles. Everything is a trinity. There's an up and a down, and then where the object is situated between those two things, there is a hot and a cold, and then there is the subjective degree. On a coin, there's a heads, a tails, there's the edge, the yin-yang sign. There is a black, there is a white, and then there is the yin-yang itself, which is the frequency. So the frequency is always the combination of the two the two opposite and inverted poles. And so whenever you're trying to determine what your truth is, it means that you have to base it upon two things. And for a human being, I don't care if they believe that they make their decisions with logic. It's always built upon a foundation of emotion. They usually use logic to justify an emotion before or after an action, but it's always driven by an emotion, a desire, a value. And that value is usually the result of a belief. And that belief is usually what they are. And what they believe they are will extend into what it is they think they need and what it is they think they want. That usually sets their intent, which sets their action, which sets the reaction from the world around them. So what you believe you are, what you believe the world is, what you believe you need, and what you believe you want are the foundation of everything. And those are where truth resides. So let's take the spider and the fly example. The spider has a DNA coding inside of it, a program that tells it, I'm a spider. I must string up webs and catch things that fly in it. And then I must wrap them up in a little cocoon and, do some pretty nasty stuff and suck the life out of them for me to survive. So because its code tells it it's a spider and it needs to do those things, it does them, which means it needs to not starve, and it wants to catch flies and eat them, or suck out the fluids and do some pretty gross stuff. The fly, its DNA tells it, I am a fly. I have lots of cool eyes. I fly around. I land on things. And I don't want to be eaten, and I want to go eat things. And so, based on the beliefs and the value systems incorporated in the spider and the fly, that dictates their truth. It is true for the fly that what the spider does to flies is terrible. It is evil. And what's true to the spider is it is good to eat flies. I hope my babies eat lots of flies. I hope the world continues on with spiders spiders eating flies forever. Heaven. Okay. So it's kind of a simple explanation of the reality behind what truth is, but I hope that it allows the listeners, any of you, to really take that in for a second and think about what you've considered in your life to be absolute truths. Say them out loud. Think about them for a minute. Ask yourself, is this true to me? Because it fits within my narrative of what I am and what I think I want and I need. And is there a possibility that this could be true for me? And there are other people out there that will have something in complete opposition to what is my truth. And it is acceptable to me because I understand that from their perspective, it makes sense. My goal here is not to instill my truth on anyone, although I do value truth tremendously. which is why the hope of this program is to free many other people who have what they think are their truths. But when you analyze them and you start to question them, you may find that they don't align with what you truly want or need. Or perhaps you'll find that what you believe you are is something much more limited, needy, and defined than what you truly are. And the only way to change your truth is to get to the root, to the I am. Who am I? What do I want? I work with a lot of people in the background, a lot of brothers and sisters who are going through and have gone through amazing transformations when we dig a little deeper and ask ourselves who we are. And what you'll find, and what I often find, is that many people are so stuck in the matrix, the illusion, the lie, that they actually don't even know what they want. I ask people, what's your dream for your future? What's your dream for your future? What do you want? And it's amazing how many people have to pause and sit for a minute and think, how do we get up every single day and we don't even know what winning in our lives truly are? Instead, we chase materialistic things. So anyways, for some people, they may find after they do a little digging that is exactly where they want to be. And that's great. The purpose of these podcasts is to allow people the opportunity to get in there, look at their programming, identify who they truly are, look at their values, and choose for themselves their truth instead of letting a consumeristic society dictate it for them. Anyways, I think that's enough for today. This is the first podcast in what will be many. I figured I'd give you guys an idea why I've chosen Veritas as my name. You can call me V for short. I look forward to communicating with any of you in the future. Always feel free to leave comments, and I do work individually with people. There's no cost or anything like that. And if anybody's ever interested in getting together and doing a podcast, the whole purpose of this, it's never going to be about me or the information I share or my absolute truth. My goal is to encourage all of us to ask questions. There is an answer to everything if and when we ever ask the right question. Is truly the question to ask. And when that question is asked, you usually find the question you need to get the right answers. Thanks.